Bore da, croeso, welcome to Creative Mornings. We've got a really interesting talk today. Thank you so much for coming. This month, as you know, I think most people have been to a Creative Mornings before, but we have a theme every month, and the theme this year is layers, and that means I have to say what Creative Mornings have asked me to say about layers. So our theme for February is layers. It was chosen by our Lucerne chapter in Switzerland and illustrated by Catherine Olivia Pearson. Layers give our work a richer complexity and depth. We must peel them away to discover our deeper truths. Fantastic. I'm wearing 3 layers. It's pretty chilly this morning, but yeah, interpret it however you like. Look at the size of this. Adobe are going to be so pleased with this. Adobe have been sponsoring us for a year, and basically the reason why we can keep on doing this every month. But also they sponsor Creative Mornings as a whole globally, which is amazing news. I think we're all aware of what Adobe does, but I use it every day. Sometimes I want to throw it out the window, but most of the time it enables me as a graphic designer to do what I do, which is pretty handy. I also want to thank Tramshed Tech for allowing us to use their wonderful space here, and this is a bit of an opportunity for Lucy just to have an introduction about Tramshed Tech and what they do.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Can I just see a show of hands of who has been to a Tramshed Tech before? Okay, that's good, I'm glad. For those who don't know who we are or what we do, we basically focus on 3 key areas. We've got our spaces, we have ventures, and we have skills. So spaces, you're in one right now. We've got workspaces across South Wales, in Cardiff, Newport Barry and Swansea. And we offer a range of co-working, office space, meeting rooms, event space, podcast studios, all that jazz. And then our ventures division is really designed to support tech, digital and creative businesses and founders through varying stages of business growth. So whether you've got a seed of an idea right the way through to wanting to tap into international markets, we support you. We've just launched 2 new programs that might be of interest. So we've got our Founders Academy, which is for that really, really early stage startups. It can even just be like a seed of an idea, like I said, and we will support you to kind of find that product market fit. Our second program that we've just launched is called AI Enable, and that's for small to medium-sized enterprises in the Cardiff capital region who aren't currently using AI but want to kind of implement it across their business to improve operations. So that's ventures. And then lastly, skills is our last division. So it kind of does what it says on the tin. We offer digital skills training, so everything from social media marketing, productivity, AI, cybersecurity, and we support you to upskill. So if any of those sound of interest, please do come and grab one of the team because we'd love to tell you more. We've also left some bounce back cards on the table, so if any of you fancy coming back for a free day pass to just see what it's like to work here. And also we've left some discount cards if any of you want to host your own events here as well. So hope you have a lovely morning. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, please. So we have a wonderful team here at Creative Mornings. And we all do our own thing, videography and doing the social media and stuff. And it's my job, apart from talking to you on the mornings, to get guests to come in and just show you what they do. And so what I usually do is I just sort of sneak into their DMs. And like, would you like to do this talk and like prepare a presentation which is like half an hour long and talk and it's to our community and we can't pay you, which and then just sometimes I just send it to someone I really don't think will get And this was the case this time. I sent it to Dom. I'd love to have Dom on. And I sent the TM and he came back and said, yeah, let's go, let's do it. I was like, yes! Now, Dom is one of these just creatives who is just innately talented. An illustrator, graphic artist who's worked with some incredible companies and done some amazing things, and is still pushing himself to push into different disciplines. And yeah, I suppose I won't ramble on anymore, but let Dom sort of tell you about what he does. Thank you, Dom.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hi everyone. Hello. Yeah. Thanks for everyone for coming. I'm like super excited for this. I've never really done a talk like this before. I've taught like in art sessions for like in schools for year 4, so this is a massive step up. And it's kind of a nervous thing, but a good kind of nervous, if you know what I mean. I'm Dom Tsoi. I'm an artist, designer, based in Cardiff, and I did a foundation course in UWIC. Whoopsies. I did a foundation course in UWIC, Cardiff, and did a BA illustration course in Plymouth College of Arts. Graduated 2015, and then went straight into freelancing for about 10 years. I've done like book covers, I've done posters, tattoo designs, and fun fact, I actually went on the Gadget Show, which was like weird to be on TV, but that was really cool to do. I've been on so many different, all sorts of projects, and for me, doing this has been really rewarding because just like to go back, look back at my work sort of thing, and not realizing how much I've done and achieved. So for me, it was like, it's been a real positive experience for me already before the talk. So because I'm the type of person that like, I always just like do a project and then finish a project and then move on to the next, and not really like stop and reflect. And I think that's really important, and I think is important for every creative really. So like, so I'm going to talk about my work, my journey, and how I got where I am and where I'm going, which I'm really excited about. And I'm going to talk about what I've learned as an artist, and hopefully it'll be useful to you in some way. Real quick, I thought I'd show you guys my logo, which says my name, D-O-M. But then if you flip it upside down, it says my surname as well, T-S-O-I. Like, not many people know about that, so I thought I'd just show you guys. I thought it was really cool anyway. It's called an ambigram, that reads forwards and backwards. So that's that. I'll move on to the next. So, the theme for this month is in Creative Mornings is layers, and I'll try and keep to that theme throughout the talk. So how I became an artist, I discovered I like drawing at a very young age, and to the point where I was drawing like every day. But I believe I got good is because I just simply got obsessed with it, and just kept practicing and practicing. Like anything you do, like, you know, when you play a instrument and then you're into like the guitar and you keep practicing, you get good at it. So that's what I did. And people ask me all the time, there's a common question like, how long did that take you? And nowadays I just say like, it takes me 30 years. Because like, if you think about it, like, if I drew a car and I drew that car like every 5 years for like 10 minutes, that drawing is just going to improve and evolve naturally, just by like repetition and muscle memory and all that sort of good stuff. So, so I need to breathe. So I'd say throughout my young kid life, I understood very well sketching and line work and shapes, just by drawing all the time. And that was my base. and I transferred that to other creative avenues, which I'll go through in a little bit later. And now I'll show you my work, some of my work, and the layers to my creative journey, starting with my digital art. So this is some of the examples of what I do. My process is that I start off with like a thumbnail sketch that leads to like a more like A4 to A3 sort of pencil drawing to more defined line work, and then I scan it in and color it digitally using Procreate or Photoshop. More Procreate now, it used to be Photoshop. But yeah, this is like my main sort of style, which has like an Eastern Chinese culture influence, and that's like all the way throughout my work sort of thing. So yeah. So I did some work for Adidas through a competition. So that's one example. The Ultra Boost running shoe is like an ad, which is like awesome. I also did work for Snapchat for about a year, doing like cameo stories. I did 11 projects with them, which is really cool. And I had to produce like 15 full illustrations. So these are 2 within a week. So that was like quite challenging, and I learned a lot. And I worked faster, more efficient, so improved overall as an artist. So that was really helpful for me. I did illustration as well for a competition for DKNY, and there's these 2 videos here I'll show you in a bit. I think the theme was wild, so this is my take on it. And I thought, I'll do an illustration, but what can I push? Like, how could I push it more? So I decided to do some animation, which I've experimented and played around with throughout my career. So just studying, like, just like going like on tutorials online, just teaching myself. So this is some of the videos. So that's the animation that I did, which is pretty cool, I think. Didn't win the competition though, but that's not the point. The point is that like I like tried to do more, try to push myself to go further. And like you can learn from, take anything from like whatever experience that you go through, basically. So yeah, that's the video. It's not actually, it's like for more social media content, because I'd love to like do this and like have it like drawn like that. But yeah, that's the illustration basically, and then, which is nice. Moving on. Yeah, so here's some commissions for album covers and EP covers for musicians. I've worked a lot with Duke, so this guy here. He's like an amazing artist and poet, and a really good friend of mine. And I actually did, funny enough, a book cover for him recently, his poetry book. It's called Imagine We Trade Bodies with Sheep. And is actually being published by Lucent Dreaming, which is an independent publisher, and Janat was at the last CreativeMornings talk, so that was really cool, like how it all came together. I've met Janat before. She's really lovely, and I spoke to her about playing with the idea of doing a children's book, and she was like really on board with it. So I'll hopefully be doing that in the future with Duke, who'll be doing the writing and the rhyming, so that's quite exciting to do. And now I'm going to talk about some select commissions that I've done, which I really like doing, and go through like more of the process of that. So, oh, okay. So I did illustrations for Lab 22, the cocktail menu. So here's some examples of the artwork. And they wanted to go for like a sci-fi dystopian cyberpunk feel, which I'm like, sign me up. Like, sounds awesome. So I normally with clients, you go back and forth messaging, about the idea, and then they sent me the title of the cocktail and then a few keywords of the theme of each. So I love working like that. It gave me a lot of freedom, but also like stuck to the brief. So here's some examples. So the first one is climate change, the title of the cocktail, and then the keywords were floral, rising seas, and David Attenborough. So I sent them a sketch, which was this, like a deer, and like the sea levels being really high. And then we go back and forth if they're happy and which they were. So I went ahead and did the final illustration. So that's the first cocktail. The second one is internet. So that's the title of the cocktail, and then the keywords were memes, networking, and cat playing piano. And I didn't do the cat playing the piano, but I had this idea, right? So I had this idea of like an Asian city building, like a noodle bar, where like all the businesses go to for lunch, for example, you know, and like overwhelming amount of like signs and neon signs and like of that, and then the signs being like the icons or like the digital sort of brands and stuff like that. So there's like a 2D sketch and then like a 3D sketch, and we went with the 3D one. So that's the final thing. The next one's my favorite. It's called AI, and the keywords were Android, logic, chess, and the mind. So I went with the idea of like a robotic horse head representing the knight piece for the chess piece for the knight, and inside I'll show you the thing actually. And inside the mind of the robot horse is an actual original chess piece. So that's kind of like the origins, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's like my representation of AI, I suppose. And then the next one is cryptocurrency. Keywords were Bitcoin, banks, and the stock market. So like that's the illustration for that, like a robotic piggy bank. So this was so fun for me to do this project. So yeah, it's always nice it's good to do digital artwork to show clients, and you have the options to like give them options and then like change the color or like add stuff or edit things. So yeah, this is the last one, which is called urban farming, and then the keywords were metropolis, greenery, and brutalism versus nature. This one was cool. So I thought of, I thought of like using the Principality Stadium and then turning it into like a dystopian, futuristic, like overgrown vegetation sort of vibe, like a jungle-like, humid sort of thing. Yeah, so this is the sketch, and then they requested for like a beekeeper in the foreground, so that's what that is. And then that's the final illustration there. So this is just a few examples, and there was like 14 of these, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing this project. So that's this, the Lab 22, and I'll move on now to Frank and Otis. So it's a brewing company. I've been the illustration for them for years now, from the start, and they've been making waves in Cardiff, and yeah, their stuff's amazing. So yeah, here's some examples of what I've done. Is another style here, is more like landscape, and it's kind of like, for me, it's really interesting to dive into other things, and like especially landscape, because you kind of need to like capture the distance, and then using color as well to like differentiate the mood of the piece. So so yeah, the designs here that look like on bottles and cans and stuff. So like that's like the net, what it looks like. So that's really cool. And then it's on the tap lens as well. So for me, it's really cool to see my artwork on things like this. Like it blows my mind, really. And then I did a poster for them quite recently. they collaborated with Kong's Bar in Cardiff, and they were hosting the Six Nations. So we discussed an idea of King Kong being tackled by the Red Dragon over the stadium, and then in the background is the illustration for Renoir's, one of the beers. So yeah, that's really cool. So that's Frank and Otis. And then I'll show you what I've done. Oh, here we go. I went into another venture, clothing design. Me and two other friends. It's called Sick Tees. This was a really fun experience for me. So I had to learn screen printing. Was a member in Print House actually before it went to Chapter. It was in Canton. So I had to understand CMYK, the color palettes, and limiting a few colors as well. So yeah, there's a lot of designs that are the back and then the front as well. And then learning how to promote and do photography and editing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we were all into drum and bass. And then one of our friends was an organizer for an event, and he asked me to do a poster, which was a drum and bass rave. And I took that opportunity to collab with them, with Sick Tees, to make a t-shirt of that event and then sell our t-shirts on the night as well, which is cool. We also got that inspiration from Concrete Junglist actually, and Dave's in the building, which is cool. So yeah, the people we worked with was Rise, who's based in Swansea, and then Rhythm, who's based in Cardiff, and it was 16 total events, just doing the posters and the t-shirts and selling the t-shirts at the raves. Yeah, it was wild. It was cool. It was, and then we went on to doing festivals and made our own events as well, which was a good laugh. And yes, sadly we went our separate ways. It's just how it went, really. But I've learned a tremendous amount just doing this, and there's another avenue that I'm really proud of that I went into. So I'll show you some of the posters. These are the posters. So the top ones here for Rise, and they had the animal theme. So each poster with each T-shirt as well was for that event. So say did the ram for that one event, and so on and so forth. And then the bottom ones are for Rhythm, and their logo was the tiki mask. So I had the idea of creating a character wearing the tiki mask in some way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I love it. So yeah, I'll move on now to comics. Had the opportunity to work on comics for a few years with a few friends. Started 2015 to 2019, I think. So for me, this was a big learning curve. I can do a whole talk about comics. It's so much to talk about. I think it's so underrated. Comic artists don't get enough credit that they deserve, in my opinion. Because you need to understand storyboarding, perspective, character design, landscape design, environments, expressions. I've got a list here. But yeah, but to me, I've learned so much from this as an artist. Just because you've got to say, for example, I need to figure out how to draw snow or stuff like that. So yeah, that's really cool to dive into. I also I've been selling some of my artwork online through Etsy at some stage in my career, mainly prints of my illustration, and I've done stickers, posters, t-shirts, etc. I did a really cool project actually. I created my own Kickstarter project. It's a crowdfunding platform, so it helps creative people to they fund creative people for their projects. So if you haven't heard of Kickstarter, and you got a cool project that you got in your head, I'd research that. So yeah, I did a project called key enamel pins to sell so this stuff. And I did a trailer for Kickstarter, and I'll show you now. And I've worked a bit of animation on it as well, which is cool. So yeah, this was basically, these are called Daruma dolls, like in Japan, and they're kind of like home ornaments, and they like give you good luck or something superstitious. So I thought, like, what if you had a pin that represent that? So like each color was like, say the black one was like helps you, like gives you, I don't know, I can't remember what the black one's called, but like say the red one rather. Okay, the red one is like gives you good luck and fortune, and like the gold one was like gives you wealth and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a cool project, and like yeah, super proud of that trailer. It was cool. So yeah, moving on now to murals. I love murals. Like I'm always up for doing a mural, and I've done all sorts of murals in places like salons, gyms, cafes, houses, schools, like a pizza oven that was in Brass Beetle, which sadly closed down. Like offices and restaurants as well. So that's Heaney's as well in Pontcanna. And IKEA, so that's the horse in IKEA. That was in their staff entrance. So that was really cool. Like fun fact, I went in to like to see about a new kitchen, and then I looked at like their like desktop, and it was like the digital, what I sent them digitally of that horse. So I was like, oh yeah, I did that. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, the challenge with murals is the scale. It's like how to project an image, like so your sketch or whatever, into like the wall. But like, I guess it helps because like the how I did it was like you do a digital version of that, you show the client, you go back and forth to see if they're happy with it. And then I took the photo of the wall and then just put the digital illustration on the wall and then work and use that as my reference, basically. So yeah, that's really cool. And I'll show you some videos now of commissions I've worked with, like mural-wise. So this one is Revival Flotation Centre in Cardiff. Is my friend's brother's business, so he kind of if you haven't done a flotation tank before, give it a go. It's cool. Very peaceful and everything, but yeah, he wanted like waterfalls or something, so this is what I've done. So yeah, I work with a lot of Poscas. They're great coverage on like surfaces like that. I'm not sure if there's music on here. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the final thing, which is cool. I've actually got some free sessions which I haven't taken yet. So it's pretty cool. I think I might do it soon. And then the next one is in my old house, they had sliding doors. So I decided like I need to do something with it. So yeah, I did in the beginning. Then you saw like a digital sort of mock-up of how I want things to do, want it to look. So one side would be the living room side. So yeah, this is like more like a Chinese sort of traditional landscape. Yeah, using like the Chinese brushes and stuff like that. So this was really fun to do. And then using like the ultra black. I think it's like I got it from a birthday. It was like the blackest black paint or something like that, which is really cool. Oh, that's Buddy. Yeah, that's the finished version there. So that's the living room side, and then this is the studio, the jewelry studio side. So that's the tiger. And then the next one is my first born kid. His nursery room, and I thought his name's Luca, and been watching a lot of Luca, the Disney film, and there was a scene where it was like a bunch of clouds and everything. So that was my inspiration for this, and we're all on a boat looking up at the sky. So yeah, I thought that was like lush. And we moved out of that house, and then we spoke to the people that that are in there now, and they still have that. I'm like, a bit weird with us there, but I think they're going to get rid of it eventually. And then the last one is a mural, what's it called? Boom Battle Bar in Cardiff. A company called Magic Rock Brewing. I think they sell their beer there, and they commissioned me to do a mural which was super long, of their brand basically. So yeah, I think it's next to the shuttles. I'm not sure if it's still there. I haven't been out in Cardiff in I don't know how long, but yeah, that's the final thing, which is awesome. Yeah, Magic Rock Brewing. Yeah, so there's that. So now I'm going to move on to what I'm currently working on. So my latest chapter, which is jewelry making, Kimura. So yeah, I'm going to use my art background to transfer into like wearable art. Using sterling silver, and it helps to have like an amazing partner basically that does amazing jewelry. Katie, she sat in the front there, and watching her grow, and it's been a huge inspiration and influence for me. And I've always said that she's like the blueprint to run a small business, because she's such a hard worker. She does, yeah. So if you haven't, check her stuff out. She's called Sea Rose Jewelry, and she does a lot of sea glass stuff. And she should have her own talk. And it will be wicked and super inspiring. Anyway, so this is where I got going, was sketching ideas of like how I want to. I think my angle is like using illustration, my background, and like putting it into jewelry. I think it's just quite unique, and to create like unique pieces as well, and like use like digital artwork to sort of like promote the jewelry. I think is really cool, like a cool idea. So there's some of the sketches and the previous sort of jewelry I've done, and so the method for me is to create jewelry is this method called lost wax casting. So you have a block of wax, and then you carve it into whatever you want, basically. So for example, like the tiger head, and then through that you mold it using a thing called investment. Same thing that dentists use to mold your teeth. And then it goes in the kiln for 9 hours, and it melts the wax and keeps the sort of design. And then you pour like, I think it's like 1,000 and something degree molten silver. Sometimes it's recycled silver as well. And it will create the jewelry. So stuff like this. And this is just some examples of commissions I've done. I've done 13 so far, which is pretty amazing since I only just opened my website like a couple of weeks ago. Haven't really started it yet. Like I'm just starting, so for me, I'm just like blown away by that. So yeah, some of the examples there is crane earrings, and I did an illustration for that in the background. A flame signet ring, and this guy, he's like a proper rocker, like everything, head to toe, like leather, skull rings and everything, and he commissioned me to do like a bottom skull, and then no words inside it, which I'm super proud of. I thought it was really cool. This is some of the latest pieces I've done. So yeah, the tiger head, Year of the Snake pendant. We're going to do some cufflinks as well. And there's a Welsh ring, that was a commission that I'd done for somebody as well. I'm just going to keep practicing, keep learning, because I'm still new to the whole jewelry making business. And yeah, to me, like, yeah, I just can't wait to keep producing and keep building up my collection. So the last slide would be plans for the future is I've got some amazing visions for Kimura. I've got one which is like to do like an exhibition featuring the jewelry pieces and then the paintings that go alongside it. So like say for example like a character that I've painted that's wearing the actual jewelry that goes along with the jewelry or something like that. Just one example. And my goal this year is to do 50 bespoke signet rings. And you've seen like some of the sketches, right? I've got tons of ideas for my collection, and I'm going to try and find like more methods as well, like to produce jewelry. And I'm just excited to build this sort of to build this with my partner. And I think it's really cool to like think we both do jewelry at the same time and help each other at the same time. I just think that's really lovely, and like really excited. So basically like this is my journey. Hope this talk was helpful and inspiring, and show you that you can do whatever you want if you have the right mindset and the right people that you surround yourself with, and the drive. So yeah, thanks for coming, and thanks for listening, and that's me. Thank you.
That was great.